is possible. If you try and be patient, it pays off while you're waiting. The seeds you water will grow, the rest will follow. Cause this life's what you make it, and some rules are for breaking. Destiny will play its role, you know. What's meant to be will be, even when it's not easy. Live your life free, no boundaries, even when it's not easy. If you give love, you get love. If you give up, you get nothing. Can't you see? If you just believe anything's possible, don't rush too much. When it gets rough, get tough, sing with me. Through everything, anything is possible. Doesn't always make sense why some things gotta happen. Fight through the rain, cause you know the sun will follow. If you practice persistence, somebody's gonna witness. You're working hard and it shows, you know. What's meant to be will be, even when it's not easy. Live your life free, no boundaries, even when it's not easy. If you give love, you get love. If you give up, you get nothing. Can't you see? If you just believe anything's possible, don't rush too much. When it gets rough, get tough, sing with me. Through everything, anything is possible. Are you ready to go? I've waited for a long time. I must be out of my mind. Now I'm ready for this to start. When the lights go out, it's so dark. When the moment comes, you'll find the part. Are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? Are you ready to go?
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camp Rotary's webinar program kickoff for 2021. My name is Andrew Wright. I am the camp director for Camp Rotary, and I would like to take a moment before we start to do some staff introductions of the Camp Rotary team. Corey Groth. Corey, are you on?
I'm here.
Corey
I'm actually
is
really here.
yeah, you're Corey is in the process of inventorying our trading post, but Corey is the newest member to our team and serves as the camping director for Camp Rotary. Also on the call, our summer program director, Ken McCaffrey.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Ken is on. And then our summer commissioner, Mr. Rick Kimmel.
Yep, I'm here.
All right, so thank you everyone for joining us this evening. We are utilizing a webinar format. For those of you that are not familiar with the Ring Central webinar format, you will have the ability to see the screen and you will have the ability to type into the chat feature, but all other features of normal Ring Central meetings are currently disabled, so there is no unmute or talk button. If you have questions during the presentation, simply type them into the chat window members of our team will do their best to answer those questions for you throughout the presentation. And then at the end of the session, we'll go back through those, answer any questions that may not have gotten answered, and give you an opportunity to type in any other questions that we may not have covered in the webinar. So we are going to get started, and I would like to talk about what we call minute minders, simple, quick things that you will need to know about attending summer camp at Camp Rotary. The first is health forms. Everyone always asks the question, how long is a health form valid for? Health forms are valid for 1 year until the month end that it's signed by the doctor. So if you were able to get in and see a doctor this year, and they were able to sign Part C of your health form on June 15th, then that health form is valid until June 30th of 2021. The BSA health form is the only health form that is allowed to be brought to camp. No sports physicals, etc. Please refer to the BSA webpage for the most up-to-date health form. As that health form changes, they will update it in that location. Whether you are overnighting at camp or not, okay, this is a change this past year. Because camp runs more than 72 hours, you are required to have parts A, B, and C of the health form, no matter how many nights you're staying in camp. Okay, so make sure that you make a note of that. Everybody who is going to be overnighting at camp needs to have Part C of the health form, regardless of how many nights they are going to be overnighting. The other thing that pertains with health forms is immunizations. The BSA requires the tetanus shot. If you do not have a tetanus shot, you will need to get one, or you will need to fill out the immunization exemption form. We'll cover that in more detail in one of our later webinar series as you make your decisions, and if you choose to come to Camp Rotary as your summer camp experience for 2021. The second thing is the DHS Central Registry Clearance Form. The state of Michigan requires that all campers and visitors over the age of 21 have a DHS registry clearance form. Ken's wife works for DHS, and Ken informed me today that they are changing their name to DHHS, and asked that I get that to everyone's attention so that when you go to look for the form, it may have moved from previous years. The question that we always get asked is, what is the policy for previous year's DHS forms? I will answer that. If you are not registered with the BSA, you have to have a new DHS clearance form every year. If you are registered with the BSA and you have not had a lapse in your BSA membership, then you can use a previous year's form. So if I was registered with Troop 123 in 2014, and I got a clearance form in 2014, and I have been registered with that troop every year since 2014, then that clearance form is still valid. However, if I took a break in one of those years and I had to re-up my membership at a later date, you also need to update your DHS clearance form. Again, we'll cover DHS in more detail in a further later webinar, but we want to get that out there now so that you know what to expect. Please note also that this process can take up to 2 weeks. So make sure that you're giving your adults, your parents, anyone who may be coming to camp over the age of 21 time to get those forms. Next, we're going to talk about the Order of the Arrow. The Michigan Crossroads Council is currently going through a merger of our lodges into a single lodge. Until we know what that looks like, we don't know exactly what Order of the Arrow will look like at summer camp. I can tell you that we are still planning on doing our call out ceremonies as part of the Friday evening campfire. Um, Elections will be up to the new lodge leadership as to if they can be conducted at camp. But know that at Camp Rotary, Thursday evening, we have an Order of the Arrow ice cream social for all of our Order of the Arrow members in camp. And then Friday is Order of the Arrow Day. We encourage all Arrowmen to wear their sash. Finally, as part of the online registration, one of the things that you will have available to you once you start putting names and making payments into the system is the ability to order a 2021 summer camp t-shirt. Please make sure that your scouts and adults know this ahead of time. This is the best way to ensure that you will get a t-shirt if you want one. You can do it right on the registration page. Make sure that you make that order by May 30th. So you can add that to any scout or scouter up until May 30th. But if you want to have t-shirts for you or for your unit, make sure that you do those online ahead of time to ensure that you will get them. If you order a t-shirt online, you will get a free slushy token from the Camp Rotary Trading Post as well. Next, I just want to talk about some changes going into 2021. We were set up for an expedited check-in process in 2020. We are going to continue to try and do that expedited check-in process. And obviously that's going to be pending COVID, any COVID regulations at the time. With the expedited check-in process, there are some steps that units will need to follow, including making sure that all of their paperwork, which includes health forms, DHS clearance forms, proof of BSA membership, and a pre-camp swim check roster, if you wish, are uploaded at least 2 weeks prior to camp. The process for doing that we will go through as we get closer to camp. The other thing that you have to make sure happens is that your online registration is paid in full by the Friday before your arrival to camp. If you do those things, we will be able to get you to your campsite a lot faster. I'm talking hours faster for those that have gone through our check-in process in the past. We are still looking at utilizing the CampDoc system. CampDoc is an online health form system that utilizes secure servers. You will still need to have a signed Part C of your health form by a doctor, along with copy of a camper's insurance cards, because those will need to be uploaded into the system. We will have a tutorial on how CampDoc works as we get closer to summer camp. But this is the way that we will be able to run our expedited check-in process. The other thing that will help expedite your check-in process is if you complete pre-camp swim checks. All pre-camp swim checks need to be approved by the MCC Aquatics chairman before they are conducted. Jay Richardson is our current MCC Aquatics chair. His information is right there on your screen. And I will take a moment so that you can write that down. Jay prefers email. He will then send you a pre-camp swim check report that you will need to fill out and then bring with you to camp. Please note that we will, Camp Rotary reserves the right to retest at camp for any reason. Now, what that means is that if we see something that concerns us, like a scout who is a swimmer that is struggling to hang out in the swimmer's area, we may retest them. We are not just gonna carte blanche retest everyone, but know that we do reserve that right as part of the pre-camp swim check process. Everything that I just discussed in the way of health forms and uploading everything early and making sure your payments are in on time and doing pre-camp swim checks is optional, but it will speed up your check-in process significantly. So we just want you to know that those are there for you. We have also updated the Award of Excellence. The Award of Excellence is Camp Rotary's Gold Award that units have the opportunity to participate in during their week at camp. It is not a requirement, but I'm going to turn the panel over here to Rick Kimmel, our commissioner who runs that program, just to talk about some of the changes that we've made to that program. So, Rick?
Thank you, Andrew. If you can hear me. Yes, the Award of Excellence program, we've made some changes to that. To go along with that, with the BSA changes to the program that has been done over the past year. We felt that it would be more applicable to be able to go along with the guidelines of the BSA to do this. We made some clarifications on the Award of Excellence program because there were some spots on there that were kind of vague, and I had a couple of scouts point them out to me, and I was appreciative of that. So we took that into consideration to change those as well. We also changed the duty roster to go along with the Award of Excellence, but we do ask that there's no pre-work done, so please don't bring anything to camp with you that's already been lashed together or any other work of that sort to go along with the Award of Excellence that you know for some of the things that have gone on through other years. And you will get these forms at your first leaders meeting. You will not see these forms prior to your arrival at camp. I do believe that's about it for right now.
All right, thank you, Rick. Moving on, we are going to move into the 2021 programs that Camp Rotary offers. And to talk about those programs is our program director, Ken McCaffrey.
Good evening, everybody. Start off real quick with adult programs and training. Andrew, you're going to have to keep up, move those slides along. Okay, there we go. Andrew's falling asleep there on us. All right, adult programs. We have quite a few things for adults to do at camp. We want you guys to enjoy your time and have just as much fun as the scouts are. So we have an Extreme Adult Leader Award, an Ironman Challenge, which both of those have numerous things you do throughout the week around camp, helping out, having fun. Sometimes it's as simple as make sure you take a nap in the afternoon. We also have our Top Shot competition, where you'll go between shotgun, rifle, and archery and try to get the best scores and prove that you're the best shot in camp. For all you fishermen, we have our Thursday evening fishing tournament hosted by our chaplain, Curtis. You guys will take over Lake BB on the boats. So make sure you can catch the biggest fish. On Friday during our carnival, we have a Dutch oven cook-off judged by Andrew and certain members of our camp staff. They always like free food, so make sure you join in that. Also this year, we're going to have a new Adult Leader Merit Badge program. You'll be working on things just like the Scouts do, such as cooking, fishing, swimming, Scout service, and a Scout Leader's Merit Badge. Also, while you're at camp is a perfect time to get some trainings done. We have our IOLS training, which will shadow the PATH program. Down in aquatics, we have the BSA Swimmer and Water Rescue Award and BSA Paddlecraft Safety. All right, next up is the merit badges for Scouts. We have over 50 merit badges being offered at camp in Scoutcraft, Handicraft, Shooting Sports, Nature. For some reason my screen's too small, I can't see it all. There we go. Couple of our highlighted areas is our MAID program that specializes in things like theater, movie making, photography. We also have our Industrial Arts Center, which offers welding, automotive maintenance, and our metalworking forge. Evening programs. Just a few things. Most of our program areas have some type of just fun thing to do for the scouts and adult leaders that they want in the evenings. Some things are like tie-dye night at handicraft, our aquatics ninja warrior course. MAID has a movie night up at the training post. Scoutcraft has a Highland Games, and our most popular Camp Rotary Carnival on Friday night. On to our dining hall program. We have a interactive meal time. Our staff sit with the scouts, so the scouts have a chance to talk to the staff and ask them any questions they want about camp. We also have our mealtime entertainment where staff will have some type of skit or song. There's always something going on in the dining hall. Okay, our PATH is our first year program. Adult participation is required. It's best to send the leaders that need their IOLS training so they can accomplish that during their time there. The adults who participate with our staff will act as assistant scoutmasters to the patrols. So the PATH program is set up just like a troop should be, where you have your scoutmasters, which will be our staff. You have our assistant scoutmasters, which will be the adult leaders that have come to assist, and our patrol leaders, and that will be our scout leadership. The scouts will work on all requirements or many requirements from scout to first class. They'll also do about 3 merit badges, which we'll determine and we'll announce before camp starts. Moving on to our opening and closing campfires. Sunday opening is put on by none other than the Camp Rotary staff. We always have a very fun and educational campfire. I'll just leave it at that. We want you guys to come down and feel welcome to camp, so we put this on for your enjoyment. Our troops have to come up with a skit to do. After that, we'll do our OA call out and our Spirit of the Eagle program, which we honor any Eagle Scouts that have earned their Eagle in the last 12 months. Moving on to Family Night and Carnival. This happens on Friday starting about 4:45. It's a great time for your parents or other family members to come see your scout at camp and then join in the Camp Rotary Carnival, which also includes Scoutmaster Dunk Tank, blow-up obstacle course, and many basic carnival games of skill and luck. Next up is chapel service, which I believe Rick has a few things to say about.
Yes, thanks, Ken. Chapel service is on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. This is a full camp chapel service. Also, it's non-denominational. We do encourage everybody to attend that service. There will be no program after the service. What we do encourage is that you use this time to have reflection and fellowship in your own campsites, or invite another unit over for reflection and fellowship with them. But again, it is Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Thank you, Ken.
Thanks, Rick. All right, last program that we're going to talk about is our Manadui program. This has been completely redone to be an extreme scout skill program. So we can test the scouts to their limit, but still making it lots of fun. It's for all ages of scouts, but it's a great program to keep your older scouts involved. Okay, next up, we have a prerequisite verification cards. Most all merit badges have some type of requirement that is going to be needed to be done at home before the scout comes to camp. These will be on the website for you to print off. Please use these. It just makes it a lot easier if everybody's using the same form. This way we're not having scouts run up at last minute on Friday and they're handing in a napkin that they have their scoutmaster to sign in the dining hall. This makes it easier for my staff to make sure that the scouts have completed the pre-requirement so that they're actually doing the work they need to earn that merit badge. Next up is staffing and CITs. We are still in need of staff. So if you know of any scouts in your troops that have a desire to work at camp, who already kind of have a feeling they know what they would like to do, please have them send a staff application in. This email or the web address is right here on the screen also. And CITs also fill in at that same website. These are for scouts who may not know if they want to work at camp. We'll give them a good chance to try it out for a week or two and kind of shadow some of our staff members. Okay, that's all I have. Back to Andrew.
And thank you, Ken, and thank you, Rick. I'm going to move in now to some of the camp administrative stuff, which will cover a lot of the questions that are starting to come in the chat window. The first thing I want to talk about is the fee and payment schedule. Camp fees for this year are $330 as long as you follow the payment schedule. Otherwise, it's $345 after May 6th. We are encouraging everyone to sign up for the Gold Loyalty Award Plan. By signing up for the Gold Loyalty Award, instead of a $200 deposit, you're making a $500 deposit, and that needs to be done before the end of January. Units that sign up for the Gold Award Plan are locked into this fee structure. They are also going to receive a gold bordered patch, summer camp patch. They are going to receive a ribbon for their flag, and their unit will also receive 2 free leaders. So take a look at michiganscouting.org under the Outdoor Adventures page for details on that loyalty or the gold reward plan. Also on your screen is the current payment matrix for 2021. I'll go through this briefly so that you can also write it down. And we're recording this webinar. We'll also send this to you in our monthly communications. But the first payment is going to be due on February, no later than February 3rd. And that is $50 per person, youth and adult camper. The second payment is due on March 2nd, and that is an additional $50 per youth camper. The third payment is due April 6th, which is an additional $115 per youth camper. And then the final payment is due by May 4th. May 6th. And that is the remaining balance for both youth and adult campers. After May 6th, the late fee of $345 kicks in. So keep that in mind. There is no late fee for Weblow's crossover units. Additionally, we have the additional week of camp. So if you come to one Michigan Crossroads Council traditional Scouts BSA resident camp and you wish another week, you can do a second week for an additional $199. We also have what is called provisional camping or camping without your unit. And you can come to camp during the designated weeks. Our session for Camp Rotary is session 6, which is the last week of July. If your unit is not coming to camp and you want to come to camp, we will provide you unit leadership as part of that week. Moving on to merit badge programs and sign up. This is also pending COVID, but currently under the regular structure. After you make your second payment, and this should say of $50, so that is my apologies. It is a total of $100 that will need to be down. Merit badge registration will open for Camp Rotary on March 18th at 8 a.m. For those of you that have scouts that will be participating in the PATH First Year Camper Program, this is part of the registration. You will register for PATH the same way that you would register for a merit badge. PATH is designed in the registration system so that if you are only utilizing part of the PATH program, you can still sign up for the PATH program and for merit badge classes. Merit badges and program openings are available on a first come, first served basis only. Class size limits are based on lots of things, including equipment availability, the time that's required to complete that merit badge, or national standards. We do not plan on overbooking classes, so you will want to plan ahead. In our February webinar, we will talk in more detail about merit badge sign up. We'll actually go through a step-by-step process of how that is done, and we can answer more questions at that time. The leaders guides, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, will be posted at the end of the month. And in that leaders guide is all of the merit badge offerings that we will be offering at Camp Rotary this upcoming summer. I also want to talk about camp scholarships, also known as camperships, and sibling discounts. A scout is eligible for a campership or a sibling discount, not both. The sibling discount is $25, so the first sibling pays the full camp fee. Every additional sibling after that pays a $25 discounted rate for their week of camp. There is limited funds in our campership fund. So you want to make sure that you are filling out the campership paperwork on time. Those are due online by April 1st. And go ahead and ignore the link at the bottom of this slide. That is going to be updated, and we will get that updated link to you. When you are putting names of scouts into the system, there will be an option to select if the scout is applying for a sibling discount or if they are applying for a campership. If you click the apply sibling discount, you will need to type in $25 so that it will apply that to your registration. If you choose campership, you will need to select or type in the amount of money that the youth is requesting as part of their campership. Campership funds will then be applied to the scout once they have been awarded, and we verify that the scout is coming to camp. So keep that in mind as you're moving forward. The other thing to put on your radar is to keep an eye out. The Michigan Crossroads Council is currently working on some new fundraising opportunities that you will hopefully be able to see this spring. That is not popcorn, and it will give you the opportunity to potentially earn up to 50% of all of the funds that you raise. So keep an eye out for that new and exciting fundraising opportunity coming to you this spring. The Michigan Crossroads Council requires that this roster that you see on your screen right now is the roster that you use when you come to camp. This roster should be filled out ahead of time. It has a form fill option so you can type it in. This roster should only list the folks who are physically at camp with you during the summer or will be joining you as an adult leader. We use this form to verify, one, who is in camp, and 2, that the registration on Black Pug matches who you say is in camp. So please make sure that this is the roster you are using. Again, we will send all of this to you once we get into the new year. At Camp Rotary, our health lodge is separate from our camp office. Because of this, our health forms do not live in the office, but rather live in our health lodge. So when a parent comes to pick up a scout, we need to verify that the scout is able to be picked up by that person. Camp Rotary utilizes a camper release form, which is exactly the same thing that is on the health form that you will need to fill out in addition to the health form. And that will either be uploaded as part of the expedited check-in process or will be collected from you on Sunday when you come to camp to check in. Please make sure your parents know that they need to list who is, and if applicable, who is not authorized to pick up from camp, including themselves. If they are not listed on the form as an authorized person to remove their scout from camp, we will not release the scout to them. So make sure that parents know and understand that. And this is strictly for Camp Rotary because of how our office setup is, that we needed this form filled out in addition to the paper health form. I talked earlier about immunizations, and I know the question got brought up a lot about COVID immunizations. In just a minute, I'm going to have Diana Marsh. I'm going to put her on the spot, come on and talk about that. Right now, the only immunization required by the BSA is the tetanus shot. If you are a non-immunizing family, you will need to fill out the immunization exemption request form and include that with your health form. Please note, as it shows at the bottom of the slide, that for the caution and safety of our campers, that this policy is currently under review. Diana, I know you answered a question earlier in the chat regarding the COVID vaccination. Can I put you on the spot to talk about that?
Sure you can. Yeah, that's not a problem. I know COVID is always on the top of everybody's minds, and I'm reading some of this chat, and I was in the middle of typing, and then you called me out, and I was like, oh, I gotta stop typing. Yeah, so there's a lot of questions in here that are go back to COVID, and the questions are, like what are we going to be doing for COVID? Are you planning summer camp? How's our deposits going to work, et cetera, et cetera. So right now, as the way things stand right now with all of the guidelines, the state guidelines, CDC guidelines, we are planning summer camp like we normally plan summer camp. So we're still doing our programs. We're still doing all of the normal summer camp programs that we have. Clearly, COVID is something that is ever changing. So we want to make sure that we give you the most up-to-date information on our decisions on camp as soon as we can. So for some reason, if we have to change to plan B, as in if we have to change program for some reason because of COVID, then we will let you know as soon as we possibly can. And I believe Andrew has monthly leaders meetings, and he'll let you know during those monthly meetings. So if program changes, we'll let you know on those program pieces. I know somebody in here asked about, fees, because I know that's always a big thing for fees. This summer, what happened this summer was very unfortunate. We couldn't have summer camp, but we did do the rollover. So if you did pay for summer camp, for this upcoming summer, and for some strange reason, if, lightning comes down from the sky and we can't do summer camp and we cancel summer camp because of COVID or whatever is going on that time, that yes, we would either do the refund just like we did this past summer, or we would roll that towards the next summer, your deposit. So I hope that answered that question. The immunizations, the shots, I know we talked about the vaccine. That does not have an effect on what we are doing for summer camp right now. As Andrew said before, we're still running regular summer camp. Parts A, B, and C of the med form are still going to be required. There may be some changes with check-in. You know, we might have to do a more detailed check-in, but once again, we will let you know as soon as we possibly can with all the rules and the regulations that we're getting from CDC. We're not going to say, you know, you cannot come to camp if you don't have a vaccine unless that is pushed down from the state or the CDC. As of right now, regular A, B, and C med form, you'll be good. I hope that answers the questions, Andrew.
All right, thank you, Diana. I think that covered almost everything. That was Diana Marsh, our Assistant Director of Outdoor Adventures. So thanks, Diana, for letting me put you on the spot there. Moving on, we're going to talk about the big elephant in the room, which is food service. Like Diana just alluded to, we are planning on operating Summer Camp 2021 as close to possible as we can. Camp Rotary is a dining hall camp, so we, if regulations permit, will operate our dining hall, which I know is different than what we discussed for those that were on the call last week. I want everyone on this call to know, and everyone that was on the call last week to know, that we have a plan that you need to be aware of now and that you need to plan for now in case we cannot do food service in the dining hall. In the event that we are not able to operate our dining hall this summer, we will be delivering the food to your campsites hot 3 times a day. There are some things that you will want to know and plan ahead of time if we need to switch to that route. The first is that there are some things each unit will need to bring with them to camp for food service purposes. So I'm putting this out here now so that if this is the route we need to go to, you are not caught off guard. All participants will need to bring some sort of mess kit and eating utensils. Your unit will need to bring the materials to wash dishes, such as dish basins. You will want to have dining flies so that if Mother Nature does not cooperate, you have a dry location to eat. For you adult leaders that need to have your coffee like I do every morning, you will need to bring a coffee pot. We will supply you with all of the coffee grounds. And then you will need to bring a way to heat water. So whether that's a camp stove, a pot that you're going to put over the campfire, if you're going to bring a stove to heat that water, you're going to need to bring fuel to fuel that stove. So we have a plan in place so that if the dining hall is not open this summer, that is the route and plan that we will use going forward. So just keep mind of that right now. Otherwise, we will try our darndest to operate our dining hall this summer as long as we can do it safely and within the guidelines as put forth by the CDC and the state of Michigan. The other thing with food service is that we always touch on, and I like to get out early, is special dietary needs. If you have a special dietary need, and that could be a food allergy or it could be a lifestyle choice. So if you have an allergy, if you are a vegan or a vegetarian, if you have to eat kosher, whatever that may look like, one of the things that Camp Rotary does is we employ a person in our kitchen that only does special diets. We have a prep station that is only for special diets. We have a cooktop that is only for special diets. There will be 3 steps that you will need to take for food service if you have a special diet. The first is on your actual registration in Black Pug, there will be a allergies section and a special dietary needs section. Make sure you list any special dietary needs, such as I'm allergic to eggs, or I can't have gluten, or I only eat beef, or whatever it may be in that special dietary box. That is our quick glance that we can print off and give to our food service director so that they can review that with their staff. The second thing you will need to do is fill out the special dietary needs request form. The link for that will be provided to you in the leader's guide and will be provided to you as we get closer to the camping season. That form goes into more detail on what you can and can't have, reasons why, anything we need to know, medical, etc. And then the third thing you need to do, or I at least strongly encourage you to do, is call camp at least 1 week before your arrival. We prefer 2, but we can make 1 work. We will have you talk directly with our food service director. Amanda Powell is coming back again this year, and she can go through ingredient lists, answer any concerns that you have, etc. And it's a lot easier to do that if you call prior to your arrival to camp. So that is what I have on food service. One of the last things that I want to talk about, we at Camp Rotary will hold online leaders meetings as webinars once a month. They fall on the 3rd Wednesday of every month, and they are from 7:30 to about 8:30 with content, and then an additional half hour is scheduled to answer any questions that you have. The dates for those webinars are currently on your screen. The first being January 20th, February 17th, March 17th, April 21st, and May 19th. After the holiday season, you will get a communication from me that will also list some of the basic things that will be covered in each of these webinars. And then a week before the webinar, give or take a week before the webinar, you will get an updated schedule with everything that will be covered on that webinar. So put that in your calendars, the 3rd Wednesday of the month from 7:30 to 9. We will do a online leaders meeting, and those topics will change as we get closer to camp. More camp specific things will happen. We'll have reminders of when payments are due, how to sign up, etc., etc. These will be recorded and posted to where you can view them in case you missed them, or if you have to go back and get an answer to a question. And the preferred method for these webinars is online because they are interactive. They're going to have, we're going to go through different details on how to do things. But there will be a phone option to call in as well if you cannot connect with us virtually. Please, please, please check your emails regularly. Starting in January, you will get at least 1 communication from me a month. As we move into March, it will be 2 a month. And as we move into May, you'll get probably 3 or 4 in the month of May. Please make sure that you add to your inboxes the email address noreply@247scouting.com. This will ensure that you get all of the email communications from camp. In your registration, there is a spot where you can list additional email addresses. If you are the summer camp coordinator, but you have a different person who's going to be serving in the unit leadership role at camp, I encourage you to add their email to your registration. All of the emails that I send out come from noreply@247scouting.com, but they are designed so that if you hit reply, they will come directly back to me, and I can either answer them or forward them on to a member of our team that can answer your questions for you. I'll leave this up for just a couple seconds more so you can jot down that email address and add it to your address book as a safe sender. Okay, with that, I'm going to scroll back through and look at some of the questions that may or may not have been answered during the webinar. While I'm doing that, go ahead if there was anything that we didn't touch on. Again, this particular webinar is designed to just give you a taste of camp and go over the very basics. As we roll through with the additional webinar series, they will be more specific. Scott, you're asking about a leader's guide location. That will be posted on the landing page for the registration website. We will also email you that link. And again, we're hoping to have those leader's guides posted. Okay, Diana is telling me by the end of the week they will be posted. So I go on vacation on Wednesday, but I will make sure that we get that link out to all of you before I'm completely gone for the holiday season. I'm scrolling back up here, so just give me a moment.
Hey, Andrew.
Yes, Ken, go ahead.
There was a question about the diversity, equality, and inclusion merit badge. At the current time, that is not on the schedule, but as soon as it does come out, we will be looking at possibly adding that to our evening program, which will run from 7 to 9 p.m. at night.
Thank you, Ken. Melinda asked if Part C is required for adults that are only going to be serving in leadership during the day, and the answer is yes. If they are listed on your roster as being a participant, they will need to have parts A, B, and C of the health form to come onto the property. Let's see, some dining hall questions, which we covered. One of the questions that was asked is, are we recommending PATH for second-year scouts who were unable to attend this past year? PATH is still designed as a tenderfoot, second class, first class program. So if I'm going to say that the answer to that is it's at the discretion of your unit leadership. If you have scouts that join this year and they're getting close to that first class rank or have already earned that first class rank, my recommendation is going to be that they do not need to take the PATH program because it's designed for those new scouts to learn those new skills. So that's going to be up to the discretion of each unit leader as to what scouts, if any, are going to take the PATH program. Our PATH program is flexible. It's designed to be a drop-in style program. So there is a PATH schedule. And for example, let's say you have a scout that needs to earn his totemship. If totemship is taught at PATH from 1:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon, they can pop into PATH from 1:30 to 2:30 on Tuesday afternoon, earn their totemship, and then never do anything in PATH again. So that's how the schedule and the program is designed. So keep that in mind when you're working on your schedules for your scouts.
Yeah, the PATH schedule will be in the leader's guide, so make sure you check it out before you make that decision.
There was a question on prerequisites, and Ken answered it, but I'll read it out loud for everyone here. Any troop leadership can sign off on the prerequisites for those prerequisite forms that need to be turned in. And then the other question that was asked is, what is the age to staff? And that is 16 to as long as you're still breathing and able to do the job effectively. And CITs can CIT between the ages of 14 and 17. Joel asked, we get webinar info automatically. You will get all the webinar info for Camp Rotary through that email communication tool and that I showed at the very last slide. Question on tetanus shots. How many years is a tetanus shot good for? It must have been administered within the last 10 years. Melinda, you've got a question about scouts not being able to attend camp. What is the refund policy going to look like? Our refund policy states clearly that unless there is a medical emergency or whatever, if you are within 30 days of the start of the event, there is no refund. Otherwise, with a doctor's note and correct documentation, you will receive a full refund minus 15%. If at any point in time you have questions regarding refund policies, adding scouts to your registration, removing scouts from your registration, etc., please do not hesitate to contact me either via email or directly at the camp office. I can talk through those in more detail with you on a case-by-case basis. Jim is asking if we have any campsites with electricity for CPAPs and other sleeping aids. Camp Rotary is designed as a traditional scout summer camp. And with that, currently none of our campsites have electricity. We are working with some donors right now to look at some solar options. But to answer your question, Jim, what the current policy is, and this will be in the leader's guide as well, is leaders that need electricity for CPAPs are going to be encouraged to bring a battery and an inverter. And then our maintenance staff will set up a schedule with you, whether it's daily, every other day, etc. We will charge that battery for you and get it back into your campsite. We've been working that way for many seasons without any issues. If you need more information, Jim, please reach out to me and I can get into some more details with you. Mark is saying, if we deliver food to campsites, will that include your drinks? It will, but I'm not going to get into the specifics of that right now, Mark, until we know for sure what that's going to look like, because what I don't want to do is confuse everyone into what option of food service we are currently using. So right now, we are operating as if we are going to be in the dining hall. If or when that changes, we will communicate that with you, and we will go into more details regarding that. We'll probably also push an additional webinar on that specific topic because I know that that is a very big change for units that have come to Rotary in the past, but we will cross that bridge if or when we get there. Dave, I'm going to have you reach out to Ken at his email address with merit badge related questions. He'll be able to answer those in more detail with offerings, any help we may need, etc. That is everything that is in the chat. Like I said, please do not ever hesitate to reach out to me. My email address is andrew.wright@scouting.org. Wright just like the dudes that flew the airplane. Andrew.wright@scouting.org. If you can't reach me there, our office number is 989-386-7943. Again, our number 989-386-7943. If you get the answering machine, because I'm the only person in the office and I am not in the office every day, please leave a message. We check that machine about every 2 to 3 days based off of when we're in the office, and then we can get back to you. If you don't leave a message, we don't know that you're trying to reach us. So I ask that you do that, and then also please be patient, and we will get you the response in as timely of a manner as we can. With that, I'm going to call out the Director of Programs and Outdoor Adventures, Sean. He's been on the call watching and learning about camp as well. Sean, is there anything you want to say to everyone on the call?
No, Andrew, I just want to thank you and your team. You guys have done a great job. Andrew is kind of our veteran camp director, and you can rest assured as we have to adjust to COVID, and we don't know how much that'll be, but whatever we have to do, Andrew is on top of that. He attends all the meetings, and quite frankly, we go to him as our resource for a lot of that information. I do think, as Andrew mentioned, we'll get the schedule out. It will be very important to participate in these monthly meetings. Today was kind of the 101 overview, but as we move forward, those meetings will be much more specific on preparing for camp and program. So Andrew, once again, thank you very much. And thanks to everybody for participating tonight.
All right, thanks, Sean. And again, I want to say thanks to Corey Groth and Diana, Ken, Rick, and Chris Hopkins for helping us put on the first webinar as we move into our summer camp specific webinars in January. We hope that you will join us for those. So thank you, everyone. Have a good evening and a safe and happy holiday season.